Hey everyone, welcome to Total War Warhammer, the very first one. So I started playing this not too long ago. I played through the Dwarf campaign, now I'm playing through the Norse campaign as Throgg Wintertooth, and I'm actually really enjoying Throgg. I thought it'd be fun after playing the Dwarves to play kind of a chaos-aligned race and kind of see what I've done so far here. I've actually been raiding quite a bit, so kind of just do kind of a quick look at where things are in my campaign at the moment. Unfortunately, I'm recording this a lot of times when it's not very convenient to record or very easy to record. So I might do some updates to this campaign as it progresses, but I feel like it's not going to go too much longer the way things are going. Yeah, let's take a look here. All gold is mine. So I had actually kind of forgotten that I needed to destroy Norska as Wintertooth, so I kind of let the Norscan faction had controlled all of the southern part of Norska up here, and I once I realized, oh yeah, I need to destroy those guys. I built a couple armies specifically, crushed them just recently, so I've just recently gotten control of Norska. I don't think it really does much for me because most of my income is raiding and sacking cities. So I've got armies that kind of their job has been raiding and sacking. I did pull some people back up here. We'll kind of look at the conditions and situation, my armies and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of a weird army to have because you'll see I've got 72,000 gold and I'm running a negative 8,000 gold a turn. And that's because I make my money by raiding and sacking cities. So I've actually been kind of reluctant to destroy stuff. I took a really long time to wipe out Kislev because they were just so useful being close for me to get money. I did actually sack Karakadrin. Sorry. I've kind of viewed it as like Throgg as he wanders around, who's fantastic. I love Throgg. If Throgg enters your territory and just raids, you should be happy. That's kind of what he does. So if I'm just moving through a raiding, yeah, that's fine. You should be totally happy I don't sack any cities. I'm only at war with, I think, Ostland, and that's it, I think. I'm kind of hostile with some people, but I'm not actually at war with anybody else, I don't think. Yeah, Ostland and still Karakadrin because I wandered in and raided them for cash, and they just kind of bailed and left, and they've just never asked me for peace. That's all. Yeah, so I was supposed to wipe out the Empire and Bretonia, and I've been kind of eating Ostland here. Ostland kind of has Wolfenburg, Hergig. They had the Brass Keep, but I destroyed that recently, and Salzenmund. So for my armies, Throgg is over here getting a little bit of recovery. He lost some units doing some fighting, so I just replaced them with some more trolls. You can see I need just massive numbers of trolls. I had more marauders earlier on. They've just kind of been cycling them out as they die, replacing them with trolls, and some I moved to a different army. So Throgg mostly just kind of wanders around and does whatever he wants. Sometimes I'm following questline stuff, or I'm exploring with him, or I'm trying to do some of the hunt stuff. So I'm kind of wandering around just raiding and sacking stuff wherever. It doesn't matter. And just recently I had to pull him back here because we were down harassing Ostland for a while. And they had a big army that I had to deal with that I lost a unit in the process of. So Throgg's pretty much dealing with everyone by himself, at least for right now. This was the second army that I built under Krakenbiter, or Krakenbite. So he, before, was spending most of his time. Came down when Throgg took Erengrad, he took Norden, and then I've just been raiding constantly over here and sacking the city over and over a bunch. And when Marienburg had this, I sacked that once. So really, this has kind of been his base of operations, and just kind of raiding and sacking this town over and over and over again. It's like a level 1 probably at this point. I pulled him back just recently because he took the Bay of Blades and the Tower of Krak away from Norska. So we'll probably bring him back once everybody's healed up. And you can kind of see we've got kind of a mix of some of the older units here, and then some newer units I've thrown in, some trolls and that kind of stuff, and some regiments of renown. So this army and this army are two that I built specifically to destroy Norska. So this one I built over in the west where I built up a bunch of stuff for horsemen and things. So I just went crazy on the chariots, Marauder Horsemen, some Axe Throwers, and one War Mammoth, so my first like non-Regiment of Renown War Mammoth. So this army and this army, which I went kind of heavy with the Feral Manticores and a bunch of the Marauder Champions. I've only built the one giant so far. They were kind of the two main armies destroying Norska in the central part and southern part of Norska. This army over here crushed them out this way. The Geomandi tribe out here still existed, and then Norska killed them not too long ago. They were actually my only Norskan ally. So I took these three away from them, and now I'm kind of wandering around with him. I think we might go down and raid the dwarves just for cash with him. I'm not sure. I do need a regular steady income of gold, but we also have to sack some stuff occasionally. I get pretty good income just from destroying armies, and then if I can sack some cities, it's just a massive amount of money on top. So yeah, I've got Aarongrad all built up, so we can get some trolls here. I haven't done many of the hunts. I've only done, I think, the one so far. We're getting pretty well advanced on tech, but I'm kind of at the point where I probably should start turning my attention more and going after the Empire and Bretonnia so I can finish off just killing everything. So you can kind of see that's we've got Norska's dead. We're at level 2 with the Serpent, which I mainly did because of upkeep reduction. I basically just wanted massive armies. So everything I've been able to do to reduce recruit cost and upkeep reduction I've gone for, but we're still running like a massive negative. But that's partially because I haven't gotten him out and raiding yet, so he's still kind of healing up. So because armies are healing up, we're not getting a ton of cash inflow at the moment, but we're probably going to go down, pay Wolfenburg a visit, move on to her gig. I've been tempted to mess with the vampire counts, but I feel like there really isn't any point. With Throgg, it's kind of cool because I can ignore the attrition from going through vampiric territory, so I can just kind of wander around. It doesn't matter. This army's totally fine. But I don't need to mess with them at all. I just need to destroy the Empire, and the Empire is somewhere down here. I don't really know how strong they are. I'm the biggest and strongest faction right now, strength-wise. Dwarves are now number 2 because they've all unified, except for Karak-Kadrin. So the dwarves are... I don't know if they've allied over here with, like, Ziflin and stuff. I don't know if they've gotten out there, because they haven't really gone south much. But Karak-Kadrin's actually fighting the other dwarves. And it's kind of a weird situation, but the Empire hasn't really absorbed, like, Ostland and Midland. Marienburg is still out here as well. And I've raided them a little bit, but not too much. When they took this, I trashed that a little bit. I haven't gone down to Bretonnia at all. But yeah, I probably should start doing that. I'm kind of at the end game where I can just kind of ignore a bunch of stuff. I feel like the dwarf campaign, I actually did the long campaign stuff, so it's just a massive amount of stuff with the dwarves that you had to do to finish them off and finish their campaign. But I feel like just like destroying Norska, destroying the Empire, and destroying Bretonnia is pretty easy. I've just taken my time because they're my source of income is raiding and sacking stuff, so I don't really want to destroy things. But the fact that I can just destroy stuff means I can just kind of ignore the vampire counts, destroy all of this, leave a giant wasteland behind, and they can't really do much about it. And we're leaving this big chaos wasteland that they've got to walk through and take massive attrition from if they want to come near any of my territories. I like that I don't have to really keep many territories. Really just have these 2 down here. We might keep Dietershofen. We'll probably keep something down here to kind of reinforce and replace troops. I think we're fairly stable. We've got things pretty well set up. Yeah, so it's just kind of the point of the campaign. So let's kind of take a look at everybody. So the Beastmen are wandering around. Let's see, strength rank 22. They're at war with the vampire counts, Bretonnia, Ziflin, Jagged Horn, somewhere. Bretonnia, you're at war with what? Beastmen, Wood Elves, of course, Top Knots, Musalon must be gone. So the dwarves have, because they recently incorporated Karak Azul, they're now much bigger. So yeah, they're now 3. So I think the greenskins are 2. So they're at war with the greenskins and Karak-Kadrin. Karak-Kadrin's at war with me, the dwarves, and the vampire counts, but I'm not really doing much about it. Marienburg's down to 1 settlement. They're at war with Midland. Midland, probably not doing well. Midland at war with Marienburg. So I'll probably crush them eventually, but I don't really, like, I'm not in a rush. Ostland has been a good source of income for me because they're fairly tough, and they've had more territories, so they've been able to give me a lot of cash. I haven't been down south to Talabukland. Greenskins are at war with Border Princes, Dwarves, and Averland. Okay. Top Knots are wandering around. Actually, I made a non-aggression pact with them a long time ago. They're still around, running around on the map somewhere. See, they're actually like very friendly to me. They're fighting Carrick Ziflin, Bretonia, the Empire, and Talavigland. And then I've only got info for the Vampire Counts and the Von Karsteins. So they're fighting Karakadrin and Beastmen. I don't want to trash Karakadrin too much, even though I could, because that sort of draws the attention of the Vampire Counts my way. I think it's time to start destroying Ostland and moving on from there. And the Von Karsteins are at war with Averland. So yeah, not too much. You can see we're strength rank 1. But yeah, partially because I've got these giant armies that I can barely afford to kind of keep in the field. Just kind of getting the new tech and the new buildings ready and then building up those armies like this one. I haven't actually used this one in a battle. I've mostly just been auto-resolving everything recently because it's been so much faster and it hasn't really been much of a challenge. But yeah, it'll be kind of fun to try out that army and just kind of see how it goes. This army's kind of fun too with just the massive number of trolls and kind of using the wolf guys here as cavalry. I did have a couple spearmen. One of them just recently got killed, which is why I'm recruiting another troll. But yeah, it's definitely a fun army. I definitely recommend Throgg. If you haven't screwed around with Throgg or played on the side of Chaos, this is a lot of fun. Early on, it wasn't really too bad at all. I'm not sure how soon I want to rush getting to rank 3 on the Serpent because, getting a champion, whatever, doesn't really matter too much to me. I haven't doing hunts either because the hunts just give you access to more units you can recruit, which cost money. So my upkeep is getting kind of crazy at this point. I don't think I can really build many more armies. It's time to crush the Southerners. So Ostland is going to get my attention first. We're going to bring those armies back that conquered Norska. Throgg's going to come on down. We'll do some damage, and then I think we're just going to sweep west and south into the Empire. And the nice thing is I don't have to hold territory. I don't have to stay and fight. I can just destroy stuff, sack things, raid things. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I definitely recommend Throgg if you haven't tried him out. So just kind of a look at where things are in my campaign. I've been putting a lot of time into this, but like I said, not at times when it's really good to record. So I just kind of wanted to show off like how things are going. I really, really enjoy Throgg. He's definitely cool. He's not like super tough. Partially that's, the stuff I've got on him. I do like the Helm of Discord and the Tormentor Sword just because it reduces other people's effectiveness. We've got a ward save on him. We've got the Wintertooth Crown so far, but that's it. Skills, I'm all over the place because it's my first time playing. So we've buffed the trolls like crazy. We've buffed his armor. What do we have? The King of Trolls, the Mutant Regeneration. And then we went for Lightning Strike, Fueled by War, Spawn of Chaos. So my upkeep down as much as possible everywhere with all my armies, but it's still getting a bit expensive at this point. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend this faction if you haven't tried them. I was kind of looking at like, yeah, I want to play the Norse, I want to play on the side of Chaos. Do I want to play regular humans? Do I want to play as a giant Troll King? Yeah, let's be the Troll King. That sounds right. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I'll maybe do some updates on this. I just wanted to share because this has been a really fun campaign. A lot more fun than Dwarves, which kind of felt like a slog, and I had so much territory that I had to defend that it got kind of irritating towards the end. But in this, I feel quite a bit different. All right, so let's spend a look at the Wintertooth Norscan faction in Total War Warhammer 1. I do have Warhammer 2, and I feel like that might be why the dwarves were so strong, is that there weren't Skaven to mess with them. I kind of wanted to play with all the factions that were in the original game first before I added the second one on, and then tried, because I know it changes the way the game ends, and kind of the final battles and stuff quite a bit once you switch to the second one. So I just wanted to see how things were in this one, and I feel like fighting on the side of Chaos is definitely the way to go. Normally I'm more of like undead type, or that kind of thing, or orcs. But this has been a lot of fun. Anyway, this has been kind of a look at the Norscan faction of Wintertooth. Hopefully I'll see you all again some other time. Just kind of a quickie. Until next time, have a good one.